Nobody knows when disaster will strike. You might be having great fun and then something bad happens that leads to death. However, you'll be amazed by some people who survived the worst moments in their lives. You could say that they were super lucky to survive. In 1972, there was a plane crash from a height of 33,000 feet and only one passenger survived. Her name, Vesna Vulović. The plane crash was a result of the terrorist attack by the Ustashi Croatian separation group. Vulović is named in the Guinness Book of Records as being the only person to have ever survived such a drop without a parachute. Imagine surviving a derailed train, a bus crash, a burning car, 2 car accidents in just one lifetime. All this happened to a guy called Frank Selak. Truly, if your day's going bad, just remember this guy had the worst days in his life. The funny part is that he ended up winning $1 million lottery even with all the misfortunes. Back in 1972, a plane crashed into the Andes mountain, killing 12 people and 16 survived. These mountains are known for having below zero temperatures. Amazingly, these people survived for 72 days by feeding on their dead partners after there was no hope for rescue. It was later on that help actually got to them. As the science of particle acceleration goes, a human being cannot withstand a beam of 600 rads. That was a different story for a Soviet researcher, Anatoly Bugorsky. He was accidentally exposed to a 300,000 rads beam of accelerating particles. Even though he survived, the exposed part of his skull froze since all the neurons had been fried during the exposure. Roy Sullivan, a forest ranger, was a victim of being struck by lightning 7 times during his lifetime. He suffered several injuries during the regular lightning strikes. The last lightning strike sent him to the hospital with stomach and chest burns. A self-inflicted gunshot wound, but not the lightning, caused his death. Joe Simpson and Simon Yates were having a great time conquering the Ciula Grande when disaster struck on the way down. Yates had to let the badly wounded Simpson to drop from a height of 100 feet into an ice crevice. Simpson survived the fall and had to crawl for 3 days to get back to camp. Truman Duncan fell off in front of a moving train car that amputated his legs and caused other major injuries. He lost both his legs and a kidney in this accident. What's amazing is how he survived a 45-minute wait for the paramedics. Robert Evans, a homeless man, got hit early in the morning by a car, only to be hit by a train 7 hours later the same day. The police could be seen commenting that Robert had received 2 ambulance rides on the same day. Surviving 2 fatal accidents on the same day is enough to believe in a supernatural being taking care of you. Prosperi decided to take part in an endurance marathon in Morocco, only to end up getting lost in the vast desert. He drank his own urine to survive for as long as he could. He even slit his wrists in an attempt to commit suicide, but his blood clotted the wound faster since it was thick from dehydration. After 9 days in the desert, he was rescued by a nomadic tribe that took him to a military camp. A Brazilian construction worker, Eduardo Leite, was a victim of a metal bar that fell from the 5th floor and pierced his construction hat and through his skull. The rod had entered at the back of his head and exited right between his eyes. The racing tracks have claimed the lives of many drivers, but not for Martin Donnelly, who survived a racing car crash in 1990. His Lotus 102 hit the track barrier at the speed of 140 miles an hour. He was thrown from the car with the seat still trapped to his back during the accident. Michael Holmes is among the top skydivers in the world for making some extremely high jumps. One day, luck was not on his side when his parachute failed to deploy when falling from a height of 12,000 feet. He quickly left a goodbye message on his helmet-mounted camera, thinking he would die from the fall. He luckily survived the crash with major injuries to his lung and a broken ankle. This list already contains a person struck by lightning 7 times in a lifetime, but Casey Wagner was struck twice on the same day. After such events, Wagner could be heard saying he needed to go to church more often now that he knew he had a second chance.